In the interview, with the Hardline magazine and the Rock Bottom YouTube channel and radio show, the legendary Glenn Hughes, the voice of rock, bass player and singer of the Dead Daisies, and the guitar player Doug Aldrich, and his daughter, how is she named?
Ruby.
Hello.
Beautiful.
Hello, to see you, the next member of the Dead Daisies.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi.
Glenn here.
So, and Doug, the Dead Daisies have had some changes in the lineup in the recent years, but your albums, without any lacks of quality, they are even getting better from album to album. So, how did you keep up the quality of the albums with all these changing band members? Was it a hard task?
Well, it's Glenn is a legendary musician, songwriter, and he and I definitely have a really great chemistry. And David Lowey, basically started this thing similar to an early Deep Purple, where people would come and go, and they would put in their songs and do some touring, and then we've got people that come and go and come back again, like Brian Tishy. So it's when you got a guy like Glenn Hughes and playing with Brian Tishy, it's a foundation for greatness,
Mm-hmm. It's an honor.
Yeah, this would be my idea. There are three members who are related to David Coverdale, Deep Purple, and Whitesnake. You both, and Brian Tishy. Marco Mendoza was a member of Whitesnake as well. So did it happen by accident, or what was the idea behind it?
I think it's it just was meant to be,
It's funny that you mentioned that, because it's like you think about all the people under the umbrella of Richie Blackmore, and it's like it's 100. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, the man in black rules again.
Yeah, of course. And Radiance sounds very cohesive. It's full of positive energy.
Thank you.
So does this atmosphere of the album reflect the mood among the band members?
Yeah, some of these songs were written a couple of years ago. That song Radiance was the one of the first ones that was written. And this is an element of breaking through. Are we going to make it? Can we get through this? Can we head to the light? Can we put the fear behind us? Can we move on? There's an element of that in that song. And the album is built on the foundation of groove and melodic love.
Yeah, it is. And the lyrics of Face Your Fear and Hypnotize Yourself are very interesting. For example, so is there a lyrical theme on the album?
For me, the album is walking through the fear. Letting go is a big thing for me. Always letting go, and basically, we're all in this together. And the album is it's an album of freedom as we get through this obstacle in our life.
Yeah. Okay. And so the song Born to Fly, is it a homage to David Lowey, who was the pilot of the band as well, or what's the origin of this song?
That was actually a song that David started out with. He had a riff for, and he and I we put that together, presented it to Glenn with the idea that not so literally about David Lowey flying, but just about people flying. And Glenn took it and made it into a really melodic, catchy song.
It's it's about breaking free and just overcoming, everything. Just, look, we're all here to fly. Yeah. Each human being alive on this planet we're all going to fly. If we don't fly, we're going to fail. So I'm singing this song is we all need to understand that we all must fly. We got to jump and fly. You know?
That's a good attitude. Free your mental spirit.
Yeah.
And the last song, Roll On, it sounds a little different to the other ones. It's a very good song to calm down after this great, exciting roller coaster ride. So what stands behind this song?
You know, it was Christmas time. I got a message from management. They wanted a song, radio kind of a song. And I wrote this piece of music and I went over to Doug's house and we worked on it. And it's different to the rest of the album, as was Far Away was different on Holy Ground. Roll On is a song, again, of hope and understanding of love. You know, I think it's a great way to end the album. It's very melodic, and that chorus is very, very anthemic.
Yeah, okay, it is. And it's a second album with you. Holy Ground, that was the first one. So was it easier this time because the musicians knew each other, and was it positive for the second time to work together? And again, with Ben Grossi, the producer, was it helpful?
Yeah, it was pretty much all the same for me. The writing was fluid. We had more chance to get together on this album. Holy Ground I was just joined the band and we were in this great chateau, as you know. It was amazing. And this album was more of a cohesive band album.
Okay, yeah, it is. And how is the composing process? Is it mainly you, Doug, who coming up with ideas, guitar riffs, and that are introduced to the band, or how?
It could be anybody, really. I mean, Glenn's got great ideas. I've got songs that I know that Glenn, I hope that Glenn likes, and then I present them to him. David Lowey and I worked on some songs that we presented to Glenn. You know, it comes down to that Glenn's got to feel it for him to finish it.
Oh, yeah.
I bought quite a few songs in at the start, and I brought them over to Doug's place, and you can hear 6 of them on this album. Again, the vibe on this record is a more cohesive band writing than the first album. So primarily the foundation of the music was written by Doug and myself. And then we sit in a room together in the studio and we all 4 complete the songs.
Mm-hmm. And was it helpful that Brian Tichy, your drummer, came back to the band? Was it a positive aspect? Did he give you more push than the other drummers?
Absolutely. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, we Glenn and I both had the opportunity to work with so many amazing drummers over the years, and he's for me, he's the best.
He is the best. He's a great drummer.
Of course. And Glenn, the Dead Daisies were used to be a 5-member band. So now you have to replace 2 musicians, the bass player and the singer, especially live. Is it a hard task for an audience that is used to see 5 members?
I think it's interesting because it's different, and different is always good. Yeah. I think if we don't accept changes, it's not good. Changes are always good, and we have to accept what is happening in this moment. Whether there's 4 or 5 on stage, I think we're doing a great job as a 4-piece.
Yeah, of course it is. And you were recently on tour here in Europe with Judas Priest and Foreigners, so there were other musicians involved. You were ill, Glenn. Are you well again?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the COVID and it was not good. I got pretty sick. Yeah. There's no way I could finish. So as you know, I came home and they got a couple of guys in to fulfill the job, and Dino and Yogi came in and do a great job. And I miss them. I miss being with the band, but I was really glad that they were able to complete the tour. So I'm really happy for everybody.
And Doug, was it a hard task to learn or to bring these new musicians in the band to perform instantly? Did they have enough time to learn all these songs? And to get in?
No, there was no time. It was hilarious. I mean, it was hilarious. I'm laughing about it now, but it was nerve-wracking. I was sweating bullets because, you know, it was just, it happened so quickly. When we were actually ready to all go home, and then David Lowey said, "Look, I really, you know, there's a lot of friends that we've sold a lot of tickets in Switzerland and in Germany that for our own headline shows. People have made plans, hotels, flights. I just don't want to let them down. Is there any way we can do this?" And at the last minute, we thought of a way that we could do it. But it was hard, man. The first show, it was there was lyrics all over the floor. I mean, the guy he had 24 hours to learn the set.
Oh, yeah.
Yogi, Dino's a really great musician though. So he's very organized, and he's got, you know, he's 30 years old, so he's like on it. And Yogi knew the set already because Yogi had come in and replaced David Lowey when he got sick. So it was, but it was touch and go. Now it's funny. Now I'm glad. I mean, it was a little rough at the time, but we were just happy that Glenn. We really wanted to make sure that Glenn was safe, and Glenn was in a place where he could be near his doctors and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was not in a good way. I was quite sick, actually. I didn't tell a lot of people how sick I was, but it was not fun. Doug had got COVID, David got COVID. We had some time there where we recovered, but my case of COVID was a little heavier. So I'm glad I'm feeling better. Really glad to be back.
Heavy sickness for a heavy metal musician. You are tough guys.
I hope so.
So yeah, and I saw it on the internet. You played Mistreated live. It's because of you, Glenn, because of your involvement in Deep Purple, or what's behind it?
You know, I have to tell you a story. When I joined Deep Purple before David joined, and Richie Blackmore took me to his house in the summer of 1973, and he played me only one idea, and that song was Mistreated. I was in his kitchen. We were both playing guitars, and Richie starts playing that riff from Mistreated. I said to myself, oh my God, I think this is going to be a great song for a great album. So that's an important song for Deep Purple fans, and the Dead Daisies fans love that version of the song that we do. So I'm glad to sing it.
Yeah, of course, it's a good idea. And the Dead Daisies often play, or sometimes play cover versions, I guess.
Well, that's a good cover for us.
Sometimes integrated in the set list, I guess.
Yeah.
And what do you think, Doug? Is this lineup the ultimate, the Dead Daisies lineup? Is it stable now? Did you find now your lineup, the final and ultimate lineup?
This is a very strong lineup, and there's been several. Even before I was in the Dead Daisies, they had Richard Fortas and Dizzy Reed at one point, and John Corabi, John Stevens. Now we've got Glenn, and they're all cool. But I love working with Glenn, and we hope to work till who knows, as long as we possibly can. You know. But like Glenn said, you know, change is inevitable sometimes. So you never know what's around the corner for anybody. But we'll see. Right now we're locked in to promote Radiance. We've got shows to do. We're very excited about, and so yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the next shows, and with the UK tour in December. And then we will see where we go next year. We don't quite know where we're going, but I imagine we'll be in the Far East, and we'll be back in Germany for sure.
And when will you back in Germany? Are there plans right now?
No. Again, we're waiting on schedules. We'll know pretty soon, but we'll let you know, Jorg. You have my promise.
Okay. Then I'm contented. It's great. And the changes in the lineups, for example, John Corabi and Marco Mendoza, was it in a good or a relatively good mood, or were there mixed emotions when they left, or how would you see it?
No. It was all positive. Good. I mean, it's all amicable. You know, there's always once you're in this family, you're in. You know, it really does feel like you're with your bros, your family members, and if somebody wants to go, you know, and do something on their own, that's totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there was when I joined the band. I'm very good friends with John Corabi and Marco Mendoza. They're very old friends of mine. I met John when he was doing the Motley Crue album. I sang on a song with John in 1994, was it? I've known Marco for 30 years. These are great people, great musicians, and beautiful family men.
Mm-hmm. So no mixed emotions, all
None.
good vibes.
Only loving emotions coming from me to them.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
And so when you will on tour, you've got now a new albums that are not played live before or just as a supporting or special guest. So will the set list, will they contain mainly songs from Radiance and the one before Holy Ground?
Yeah, I think, Doug, we're playing 4 new songs from Radiance on the next tour and 4 songs from Holy Ground. So there's going to be 8 songs from the 2 albums. So we're very, very happy to tell you that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, fantastic. And especially you, Glenn, but Doug, you as well, you worked in many bands, many projects, great back catalog. You still have other projects, bands, and how can you schedule all these activities?
No, I can't do it anymore, Jorg. I have just basically been all in since Glenn joined. I've been all in and put everything else to the side. I really wanted to make sure that we were focused on making the strongest albums possible and touring them. And, you know, we had the pandemic in the way, but we've been able to tour and now we're back at it. So I really I feel like it's a better thing if I focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Okay. Again, you work with many legendary bands, with Deep Purple, in Black Sabbath, so many great on many projects, and Black Country Communion. And what were the best periods for yourself musically or personally? What were your highest points in your long career?
I have to say that in my childhood, when I was a teenager, my first band, Trapeze, was a really big start for me, because that's when I found myself as a singing bass player who could actually write songs. As a teenager, it was quite remarkable. I've always been influenced by the Beatles, and I did get to meet the guys in the Beatles a long time ago. So I'm very much influenced by English music. So I'm an Englishman, as you know. But for me, there's great moments in Deep Purple, but Trapeze was my love, and that's where it all started.
And Doug, I read that you were in the discussion to getting a guitarist of Kiss when Ace really left the band in your early stages. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just 18 at the time, and they had me come in and audition in several different ways. I went into the studio and recorded with them, and then they had me come and play live with them. But I mean, I was just a kid. These guys were world-renowned rock stars already, world famous. It was just a little funny. But the thing that I think that what it did is it really gave me confidence, like that I was doing something right, and so I've been very lucky since.
Yeah.
Of course, it is very outstanding musical career. And Glenn, what's the origin of your nickname, the Voice of Rock? Who brought it up?
I was doing a song with an English band called KLF in 1991, and they started to call me the Voice of Rock. That song was a huge song. What Time Is Love America was the song. It was a huge song across Europe in 92. And ever since then, the media and the fans have been calling me. And by the way, I'm so grateful. But I have a lot to do and a lot to live up to be called the voice of rock. So for me, it's an honor. Of course, I'm very humble and grateful to be called the voice of rock. So I have to keep working I have to just keep being myself and keep singing and just loving the life that's been freely given to me. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
And how do you arrange it to stay so fit, looking in good shape? Do you have a special program, nutrition, sports, or music?
Yeah, I am a crazy vegan. I do a lot of exercises. As Doug will tell you, and for 45 minutes before we play every night, I'm in the room with the guys in the dressing room singing and singing and singing. I get a lot of sleep. I drink a lot of water, and I have no fear. If I have fear, I'm in trouble. So fear is the big aspect. I have to keep walking through the fear, never thinking of the next note I'm going to sing. Whatever it is, it's in the moment, and I do it with full gratitude. I'm a very grateful man.
Yes, and you will go on tour, and how would you see it? Where are the reactions better, here in Europe, or is it in the United States on the Dead Daisies? Where do you have the best response to your live shows, performances?
I think everywhere has been fantastic. I think we had a great run of shows this summer, great performances. And in America last year, we had great shows, great turnout, and hopefully it'll continue the same way.
That's it. And these were my questions mainly. So do you have got further informations about the new album or about the Dead Daisies? Any things your fans?
There's one thing. We've got an EP that we're going to put out for the U.S. tour, I believe. That is the first 4 singles, and also a really cool version of an old Fleetwood Mac song that we did for fun in the studio. It's not on the album, but it's going to be on this tour EP that we're going to release. So that's coming up. Wait till you hear this version of the Fleetwood Mac song. It's really cool.
Okay, and will there be a live recording, maybe a live album or a DVD with this new lineup after the tour, or is it not interesting today? Live recordings, DVDs, Blu-rays, is it out of it?
We did record without us knowing about it. The front of house engineer recorded us last year in the UK, so you never know. It might be, we might do it. Who knows?
For me, speaking personally, if we do a recording, it would be nice to know we actually are recording. I think Tommy, our front of house, he records everything, but we don't know what the hell's going on until it's out. We had no idea that thing was coming out. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We love Listen, we love playing live. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. And that's good. And David, David Lowey, I guess he is the founder of the band. He was your pilot. Is he some kind of neck of the band? The man in the background who holds the band together, what's his role?
David, the way that it works is the Dead Daisies is very much run like one of his businesses, where he's got a lot of people involved behind the scenes. That we've got a big management team. We've got the band members, which is, the main thing, but the people behind the scenes are involved, and he's just one of the band members when it comes to the Dead Daisies. It's really like he puts other people in charge to take care of different things. Like, for example, majority of the music comes from Glenn and myself, and then Glenn is in charge of lyrics. We've got people in charge of social media. So he's just really, he founded the band, and he's got a say, but we vote on everything. It's very, it's run like a business.
And he is a businessman as well, beside his musical career or otherwise. So it's hard for him to schedule all these various activities. But it's very interesting to see him playing with you, playing a rock band, but otherwise to have his business purposes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's really driven, and he when he's doing business, he's full in doing business. When he's playing guitar, He doesn't want to talk about anything else but playing guitar. And he's also a pilot, which is like, so he's like, we call him the Energizer Bunny, along with the Thunder from Down Under, but he's just got a lot of energy, and he's very focused.
I don't know how he does it. He's very focused on you know, the one side of his life is all business, and when he's with us, he's playing guitar and he's having fun. And as long as we're all having fun, that's the most important thing.
And
remember, it's rock and roll. It's not supposed to be that serious. It's supposed to be fun, and that's what we're doing, having fun.
And is he still your pilot? Does he fly you from town to town, or
sometimes?
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He is a pilot, and he flies himself. Mostly when he's with us, he can't fly because he's concentrated on the music. So he's got somebody else to fly. We're not always on his aircraft. We take his aircraft for short hauls, but long hauls we take a regular commercial aircraft, because his aircraft, it's a luxury, and we're grateful for it, but that's really like his home, you know. So it's not like we're on the on the plane partying or something. We're very respectful that the opportunity that we can travel sometimes via his aircraft is great. But he really has that aircraft close by, so he can be doing business on days off, and he's got family in Europe, so he's sometimes needs to go to the family. Otherwise, I love flying commercial. It's great.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. All the best. Yeah, with a new album. Yeah, with a tour, and but I guess the album appears in the end of September, but your tour starts soon, in the beginning of September.
Yeah. It's September the 7th in New Jersey.
Okay, then the people don't know the new program or the new album at that time, I guess, or
no, but there's going to be 4 singles. Hypnotized, and the next one is Face Your Fear, coming September 4th. So there'll be 4 songs that the people will have heard. Okay. And we're playing those 4 songs.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for this nice interview. Good luck with a new album, with a tour.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
And the German expression KOR. Do you know what that means? Keep on rocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. KOR it is.
Doug and Glenn and Doug, thank you very much.
Thank you.